Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Khumzamnisi and I'm here to tell you guys about my labor and delivery story. So first and foremost, I gave birth at Genesis Clinic, which is a birthing center, and I gave birth through a midwife. So honestly guys, I thought I was going to give birth around 37, 38, 39 weeks, around that time. But unfortunately, as I always do with my first kids, with both my previous pregnancy, I've given birth at 41 weeks. So the same thing happened with this time around. And I really thought that this time around, because it's my third, my body is just going to fall into labor early and all those things. But none of those things worked, guys. And besides, I was doing a lot of walking, which is supposed to help open up your cervix and help you to deliver early, or help you with your labor. So for me, I thought that by 37 weeks or 38, 39, I would have already be given birth. But no, it didn't happen that way. So at 40 weeks, I spoke to my midwife about getting induced. And honestly, she didn't want to do it. And there was no specific reason to why she didn't want to do it. She was like, no, your body's going to naturally fall into labor. You don't need to do anything. So at 40 weeks, at our 40 weeks appointment, she gave me this pill that is supposed to help me to activate my labor. And when I spoke to her, she said, no, this thing, if you take it, I don't think you're gonna sleep. You're gonna come back here later to, like, she was so sure about this pill that obviously after taking this pill, I'm gonna fall into labor. But obviously that didn't happen, guys. So this was a Wednesday when she gave me this pill, which I think it was on the, let me see, 12, 13, 14. Yes, I think on the 12th. So she gave me that pill. Nothing happened. So, and the next day I went back, because she said if it doesn't work, you have to come back. We have to check you, stuff like that. So we went back on the 13th, which was on a Thursday. We went back and she was like, no, let me give you another one. And you must come back around 12. If nothing has happened, I'm going to induce you and all those things. And after taking this second pill, even previously when I took that other one, my contractions were there, but they were not strong enough, you see. So even when we went back on the Thursday after taking the first pill, she checked my cervix. I was still 2 centimeters dilated, and there was no progress. She was like, no, your cervix is far behind, it's still closed, it's still not open, and all those things. So she gave me that's why she gave me the second pill. Even after the second pill, we went back late at around 12. I told her, no, my contractions were regular now. They were like consistent. She was like, okay, come. Even when we went back then, she was like, your cervix is still not open, it's still far, and all those things. If we force this thing, you might have to go and do a C-section. And obviously I didn't want that. But if it come to that point, we would have taken that route. But there was no need for us to force everything just so that I can give birth. So yeah, and then we went back around 12, and my cervix was still not open, guys. It was still not dilated. I was still 2 centimeters. And I was like, you know what? We need to get this baby out. We are not going back. Me and my husband were already decided that, you know what, this is the day. We would rather get induced if all things have failed. I am not going past 41 weeks, because I was like, no, I'm not getting to 41 weeks. Because at that time I was, guys, even then I was like 40 weeks, 4 days, I think 4 or 5 days. So on Saturday I was turning 41 weeks, you see. So we were like, no, we have to do this. guys, I was basically tired. I didn't want anything to do with pregnancy anymore. I was like, you know what, you have to induce me. She was like, no, we'll try other things, obviously, to try and see if your body is not responding. If it's not, then we'll see what to do. And obviously at that time, so she was like, you know what, let me go and get a second opinion. She went, and I don't know where she went, and then she came back. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna try the gel. Which is like something that you use also for inducement. If that doesn't work, then we'll move to another thing, which is the drip. And she was like, you know what, let's try that one. If nothing happens, we'll try something else. So she came back. She gave me that gel. So they put it in your cervix. If your cervix doesn't dilate still, then they'll have to use another method to induce you. So she came, we did that gel, and I think she came back like around 30 minutes or 15 minutes around that time. She was like, oh wow, you're dilated already, you're 310 centimeters, which means you are in active labor. So I was in active labor by then, but as soon as I was like 3 centimeters, wow, my pain started getting very, very, very consistent. That's what I hate about getting induced, is that your pain, they don't give you a break, you know, to sort of get to grasp your air, because those pains are like coming non-stop. There's no, it will take a break, like there's no, you'll take a break, 5 minutes or break or something like that. No, with getting induced, those pains are like consistent, like they're there, they never go away. So she came back and I was 4 centimeters dilated. She was like, okay, let me give you an injection, because by that time, a pain medication, and because by that time I was in so much pain, I was like, I was done. I was even asking myself, guys, why am I back here? Because this is obviously the most painful pain that I'm going through. Like, I don't even understand why I'm here again. So obviously she gave me the pill, she gave me the injection, which is the pain medication, and I think it gave me like a 15 minutes break. After that, my pains were like so painful, like it was non-stop painful. Oh guys, it was so painful, like, jokes aside. And after that, she was like, you know what, maybe if we move you into the water, because water is supposed to make you feel better, it will make the pains manageable, something like that. And before we did that, she checked me. She was like, wow, you're 6 centimeters. So obviously by that time, there's no stopping this labor. This baby, it's coming. Everything is coming. And I remember saying to her at that point, where I was in so much pain, I was like, oh my gosh, can you give me something stronger than this? She was like, no, I can't do this. We would have done it. We would have done the epidural at 4 centimeters. Have you requested it at that time, you know? And I remember speaking to her about it, and she was like, no, the epidural, it's fine, but it also distresses the baby. It's such a strong medication, it can cause the baby to be distressed and all those things. And I know that with midwives, they push for natural as much as they can, you know? So I could understand her point. And also I believe that I trusted myself, guys. I thought that I was gonna do this, I'm ready for this pain, I'm gonna push through this pain. But trust me, at 6 centimeters at that time when I was giving birth, I was like, you know what, no, I can't do this. I am not doing this. I need something to stop this pain, because this is just too much for me. And I remember my husband even told me that, I was even telling him that, you know what, I am so done. I am not going through this pain anymore. I am so done. And with my husband, guys, he loves kids, like he loves kids. So he will always say, no, this is the last one. Even with my second born, we said the same thing, like, no, this is the last one. We're not having any babies anymore, because this is just too much pain for you. I don't want to see you go through this. But guys, let me tell you, as soon as these babies come here, this man, I think after a year, he forgets all those things that he has been telling me. Like, dude, you can do this. But, well, you know what? I was like, but with this one, I was like, okay, this is me now talking. I am not doing this anymore. I am so done with this pain. Because I couldn't understand. I was like, oh, I can't understand. Why am I doing this again? Guys, who sent me here? Because nobody dragged me here. So why am I here? So she checked me at that time. She was like, no, you're 6 centimeters. Let's get you into the water and see if your pain will, maybe they will calm down or something. So we went into the bath. And the plan was not to do a water bath, but that's where it ended up going, but only because I was in so much pain. So I went into the water. As I was in there, they were like, no, the water is supposed to make you feel better, but I was in so much pain. I felt like being in the water was just making it worse. I wanted to get out of the water. It was just one of those things, like, I'm not doing this. So yeah, guys, so as soon as we got into the water, guys, my labor started progressing so fast. And we got into the water. I think 30 minutes later, she checked me again, and I was already 8 centimeters. And she was like, okay, let me go and get everything ready so that I can be prepared for the baby when he gets here, get all the vaccine and everything ready for the baby. So my midwife went outside and went into wherever she went, and she came back. As she came back, she was like, no, she was just looking at me. She was like, no, Khumzamnisi, I can see you pushing and you're not supposed to push. I was like, no, like, there's just pressure that is causing me to push. Like, it's not something that I'm doing on my own. I know it looks like I am forcing it, but it's just something. So as soon as she went, she was like, okay, let me check. She was like, oh, the head is here, like the baby's here, I can feel the head. So already by that time when she came back, I was already 10 centimeters and the baby's head was there, guys. I was like, okay, do you want to feel the baby's head? And as I felt it down there, it was like it was almost out. So she was like, no, with your next contraction, please push. And my next contraction, I pushed and the baby's head was out. And the next contraction, I pushed and the shoulders were out. And for me, if those two are out, guys, like, you're a warrior, you've made it, you've done it. Yeah, you've won the race. So the baby was out and I gave birth to my baby boy. He was here. He was 3.4 kg when he was born. He was born at 7 a.m. in the morning. I think it was 18 minutes past 7 when he was born. So yeah, he was here. He was just this healthy baby boy, crying like nobody's business. Like, he was ready to feed as soon as he came out. And we did the skin to skin. And we did that thing, I don't know what they call it, guys, where they let your placenta, immediately when your placenta comes out, they put it in like a dish so that all the, I don't know what they call this. She explained, guys, why they're doing that and how, like, obviously I just given birth. My mind is just tired. I'm exhausted, and really all I want to do was just like sleep. I was so tired, guys. So as soon as the placenta came out, they don't cut it immediately, so they let it sit there for a couple of minutes and then they will cut it later on. So yeah, that's my labor and delivery story, guys. So as soon as that was over, they cut the cord and we came out of the bath and I went on to my bed. So yeah, guys, that's my labor and delivery story. I know now I'm mumbling and saying all those things, but yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. And thank you to all of my subscribers. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.